Hello, welcome to natemareflix. I'm Nate, you are you, and today the Don't Breathe 2 trailer dropped, which is awesome because I've been anticipating this movie for a long time, and if you don't believe me, you can go back and look at my video of the 10 movies I was most looking forward to this year. This movie made that list, so I'm pumped that we finally have a trailer. I love the first Don't Breathe movie. I love the blind man. I think he's an amazing horror antagonist, and that Stephen Lange has so much presence on screen as the blind man. So if you love Don't Breathe and you love that blind man character, then perhaps you should go ahead and subscribe because I've actually already gone ahead and recorded a video I'll be dropping later this week where I look at 20 to 30 different horror movie villains since the year 2000, and I decide if they are actually worthy of being a new modern horror icon, and I plead my case as to why they are or why they are not an icon. So go ahead and subscribe so you can check that out. Now let's go ahead and check out the trailer for Don't Breathe 2, and I'll go ahead and give you my feedback on it. And here we go. I'm gonna stop doing little trailers before trailers. What is that? It's all looking familiar.
Failed. The gun is in my hand.
Sorry. I'll make it next time.
Looks
You
way
almost
leaner.
got me, didn't you, boy?
We had a lot of fun today. I could take her again next week.
No. Home safer.
Producer Fede Alvarez, which was director Fede Alvarez. Another trio.
Shadow.
He said, not this again.
What do you want?
You're coming with us, kid.
Got the Halloween kill through the window trick.
It's not me you need to be scared of, little girl, but the man standing next to you. Now, I don't know who he is, but I know who he's not. Should I tell her or you?
He's gonna come for me.
You're gonna see what I see.
Which is not very much. Bro, you gotta cover your nose if you be huffing way down in the dark. Why are you showing me this? See, he gets it. Cover the mouth. He knows how he would find it. Like a sensory deprivation tank. Don't breathe too. Okay, so yet another trailer with a weird pre-trailer trailer. I don't know what this new little phenomenon is. I don't know why we keep doing those. It doesn't really add much. It's kind of just annoying. But besides that, the trailer, I mean, it looks like a lot of action, which is great. Of course, they're going to continue to explore the gimmick or whatever you want to call it, this whole thing of having you step into the blind man's world, which is what we loved about the first one. But what we loved about the first one was that he was a villain. And it started off this whole thing of how are you going to steal from a blind man, and then you find out more about this blind man, and you go, you know what? Actually, I don't really like this guy too much. He's taking women, he's keeping them captive in his basement. He's got the turkey baster, and he's coming around the corners and just firing guns into the dark. All this stuff created a really tense atmosphere, and he was terrifying, and he was a great horror villain. The problem is now we're making him into like an anti-hero, and you want us to follow along and root for him, I guess, and that doesn't quite work because when you do that, you now have made an action movie, not a horror movie. Because when we're following along and we're afraid of him, it's a horror movie. When we're following along and just hoping he shoots and kills people, that's an action movie. Completely different genre, and it's also a bit disgusting and despicable to want to root for a guy that we know was kidnapping women, keeping them captive in a basement, drawing them up, and inseminating them to try to get a daughter out of them because he felt he was owed that. That's not the fella that I want to root for. And I was okay rooting against him. I liked that the characters in the first film, there was murkiness and grayness to all of them because none of them were saints. By the end of the day, you landed on a side, and I thought that that was compelling. This, I don't know that they're going to be able to make me really fall in line and want to root for him. But also, maybe that they are going to trick us yet once more because we see this little trio here. And they don't really know who he is. They make a point of saying that, but they know what he's not. So perhaps they have been hired to go in and retrieve this girl. I know from doing a past video that she comes into the blind man's life because her family was killed in a house fire. So perhaps he still is the same old despicable SOB. Maybe he set that house fire and now he is trying to rescue her, and he's going to try to teach her and give her all these survivalist skills and whatnot, maybe brainwash her and get that daughter that he always wanted after what transpired with his actual daughter. He's trying to fill the void with her, but he actually set things up. She didn't come to him just because, fate. No, he kind of set her on a collision course with himself. Then you could be like, all right, you know what? I'm rooting against him. Then you tricked me. I started to fall in love with this dude. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna look here and have a redemption arc. You know what? He did this stuff in his past and it was despicable, but he's learned and now he's a good positive figure. And we realize, oh, no. Turns out all along he was still very much a bad guy. And perhaps Jane Levy's character, who was not pictured in this trailer, perhaps she has actually paid these mercenaries or this team of guys with these special set of skills, whatever you want to say, to go into the house and retrieve the girl from Stephen Lange. Who knows? This is all conjecture at this point. But I will say the trailer showed way too much. We know way too much. This trio, for what we know right now, is the main threat to the blind man. And that's going to be the main storyline, or at least that's how it seems right now. But yet we saw in the trailer a few of those members get killed. That kind of sunken, drawn out blonde guy, he seemed to be the leader of that little faction. And we see his death, or so it seems, when he goes trying to tiptoe through the darkness and the blind man pretty much throwing knives him in the head. Why would you show us that? I feel like I got way too much. I got storyline, I got beginning, middle, and end with this thing, or at least so it seems. Trailers should give you a feel, a vibe, a little appetizer, if you will, something that makes you want to show up for the main course and actually partake in the full meal, make you want to digest this big motion picture. This, I feel like I actually got the entire thing. Trailers are not supposed to be cliff notes, but I feel like that's what I got. So there you go. Those are my immediate takes on the Don't Breathe Through trailer. I still want to go check this out, but I've got to say, this is not exactly what I had in my mind's eye. Be sure to comment down below what you think about this trailer, and if you think I'm off base in some of these thoughts. That being said, thanks for checking this video out, and hope you have a fantastic day. I'm Nate for natemareflix saying that's a wrap.